All right, guys. A few people have requested me to make a video on the indicators that I'm using, so I'll make a small video on that. At the moment, I have 4 indicators on my chart. Other than that, everything else that you see, let me open this chart. So everything else that you see on my chart is I noted them out myself, like the 1 hour fairly gaps and this important level and this big gap over here. All these fairly gaps I've been using for from the last year. Look at this, they're so old. And then there were a few here I did not move them from the previous chart. I'll move them later, but I want to give you an idea that the same fairly gaps that we used before can be used again. Like here we have used them here. Look at this one, we used it here. Then we use this fairly gap for a bullish order. Look at this, look at this. Now we will see opportunity on these fairly gaps later. Now this is the thing that I use. Now I want to talk about the indicators, right? The first indicator that I use is this watermark, which is just my channel name, Scopioid, and these 3 words: patient, discipline, wisdom. Whenever I come to the charts, I look at them and I remember how I have to trade. This thing, I first found out about this on Zeus's mentorship. And I have been in his mentorship for a brief moment of time. I love his work. He's my mentor, so that's why I liked it and I put it here. We should be patient, we should be disciplined in trading, and we should take decisions, make decision based on good knowledge, which is wisdom. So all of those. The next thing that I use is this SMT indicator. Now to showcase how the SMT indicator work in real time is that it tells me time-based cycle SMTs. For example, let's do this. I was start new. Let's go here. All right. What this SMT indicator does is tells me real time what I can expect, if there is any SMT with ES or not, these kind of things. So in this area, there's no SMT, but we see a daily SMT over here. Let's go to the time period when it's market open. That tells us good indications of if there is an SMT or not. Now look at this. See, we had a 90-minute SMT with ES and YM here. It made it. If I slowly make candles, it updates real time. It tells me when there is an SMT there. The red line, these red, they are not confirmed. The colored one are confirmed. So red one is still in the making. So maybe when ES maybe takes it, it will go away. But if we do a reversal, for example, ES does not take it, it changes color. Now here, now NQ also took it and ES also took it and YM also took it. So they remove those red ones. Now it's a purple one here. And I believe it show us rejection and then it go down. When we see some sort of rejection, it changes the color, but unless it is confirmed, it stays red. So this is how this indicator works. This is a subscription based indicator. I pay $20 for this per month, and I recommend it. I like it. There are free versions of it as well. I have some over here. This SMT indicator by Bronx, it's free. You can use that. It's basically the same thing. I just pay Kronos because this guy gave me discount. I still pay $20 even though now it's $50. I get this market maker tool for this time cycle and SMT, all 3 in 1 in $20. So the next one from the same creator is this market maker tools. This is the most advantageous one. What it does is, let me go to the hourly chart. This one actually indicates really important things. First, it notes out the days over here. Then it adds a divider. Look at this, 6 p.m. And you can change it to midnight divider, like at 0, right? If I go down to a 15-minute chart, I believe it does that for me. Okay, I can change it in the settings, I believe. Daily separator. Okay, this is the daily separator. And then there has to be some sort of other options that I cannot really go through at the moment. We can select that, we can add different things to it. Like for example, this 8:30 opening, 9:30 opening, midnight opening. If I press OK to it, you will start seeing them. Look at this, 9:30 open, midnight open, 8:30 open. And then most importantly, it notes out this previous day high, Asia high, London low, previous day low. This, and then it also notes out these new week opening gaps. Now I can also add new day opening gaps to it as well. We can have first presented fair value gap. If I go back to 1 minute chart, it will show me first presented fair value gap here as well. See, this is the first presented fair value gap. I don't like to use it because it's not as accurate as I think it is. So what I do is I use my own idea of first presented fair value gap. Now there are other gaps as well. How much you want to extend it? Extended gaps 20. You can add more gaps. How many times you want to look back? Then you can also add new day opening gap, right? You can see them over here. You see new day opening gap is here, and it helps. I don't have to draw them on my own. So that is one thing about this indicator. And the next indicator, and the final one that I use, is this Chronos time cycles. I mostly keep it off because it takes a lot of, it draws a lot of stuff over here, which is really confusing. So what I do is I turn it on before the time I want to trade. I want to just get the gist of what's happening, right? For example, here we took out this time cycle low, this time cycle low, this time cycle low. Now I want to be bullish. So the next thing I'm looking for is the previous time cycle high, which is this. So I would be targeting this as my first draw on liquidity when I enter here, right? So this is how I look at it. I note them down and then I close it. These are the 4 indicators that I used, and that's it. Nothing else. No, I don't even know the names. I have them saved back in the days when I used to trade EMAs and all those things. See EMA here, breakout, WFIB, I don't know what that is, and different other SMT divergence indicator, which I don't like. And then there is trend regularity, trend lines with breaks. I used to do that too. Uh, fixed range volume profiles, DR, IDR. I don't even know what these are now. I just trade ICT, so I don't need indicators. I just have these helper indicators. They're not like indicating anything. They're just helpers of the same concepts we have. And that's about it. Yeah. If you are interested, I will add the link to this creator in my bio and you can go and support him.